Something unusual is unfolding behind the quiet gates of Royal Lodge in Windsor Great Park. For more than 20 years, the sprawling 30-room residence has been home to Prince Andrew, Duke of York, and Sarah, Duchess of York. It has been one of the most recognizable private residences connected to the extended royal family. But now, that long chapter may be approaching its end. Subscribe for clear, factual royal updates and ongoing coverage of developments within the British royal family. According to recent reports, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson are preparing to move out of Royal Lodge, the residence they have occupied since 2003. And in the days leading up to the expected departure, the Duchess of York is said to be feeling increasingly anxious about what comes next. Those close to the situation describe a period of tension and uncertainty inside the household. Royal Lodge has long held a unique place within the royal landscape. Located within the historic grounds of Windsor Great Park, the residence carries both architectural history and symbolic importance. Originally built centuries ago and later restored, it sits among the most prestigious properties associated with the crown. When Prince Andrew took up residence there in 2003, it became the center of his private life. Even after their divorce in 1996, Sarah Ferguson remained closely connected to the Duke's household. In a situation that has often attracted public attention, the Duchess continued living at Royal Lodge alongside her former husband. Over time, the arrangement became an accepted reality. The Duke and Duchess of York maintained a close relationship and continued sharing the Windsor property as their home base. For more than 2 decades, Royal Lodge represented stability for both of them. Now, that stability appears to be shifting. Reports suggest the couple are expected to leave the residence, bringing an end to a living arrangement that has lasted more than 20 years. For Sarah Ferguson in particular, the change appears to be deeply unsettling. Sources familiar with the atmosphere surrounding the Duchess say she has been feeling massively on edge as the prospect of moving out becomes increasingly real. Friends and staff reportedly describe her as worried about what the next stage of life will look like once the doors of Royal Lodge close behind her. And in recent weeks, the Duchess has been seeking moments of relief away from the formal surroundings of the main house. Just behind Royal Lodge, tucked discreetly within the grounds of Windsor Great Park, sits a small bar known locally as the Doghouse. The venue is not widely known to the public. It is a purpose-built bar that provides a private gathering space close to the residence. Because of its secluded location, it has reportedly become a place where trusted staff and close friends can meet informally. According to accounts from individuals familiar with the setting, the Duchess has been spending a number of evenings there. During those visits, she is said to have spoken openly about the uncertainty she is facing. Sources describe the atmosphere as candid and emotional at times. The Duchess has reportedly been sharing drinks with friends and staff, discussing the possible move and asking for advice about what her next steps might be. One account suggests she has been pouring her heart out during these quiet gatherings. The Doghouse has therefore become something of a temporary refuge, a place where the Duchess can briefly step away from the pressures surrounding Royal Lodge. But even there, the reality of the situation remains unavoidable. Those close to the environment say Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson have also been heard having serious conversations about the future. These discussions, according to reports, have at times been intense. For a couple who have shared the same residence for more than 2 decades, the prospect of leaving naturally raises difficult questions. Where will they go next? How will their household change? And what does the departure mean for their long-standing connection to Royal Lodge itself? For Sarah Ferguson, the emotional weight of those questions appears significant. Royal Lodge is not simply a property. For the Duchess, it has been home for the majority of her adult life since her years within the royal family. It is where family routines were established, where close relationships with staff developed, and where the unusual post-divorce partnership with Prince Andrew continued to evolve. Leaving that environment represents a major personal transition. Those who know the Duchess well say she has always maintained strong bonds with the people who work around her. Over time, members of staff have become trusted confidants as well as colleagues. That loyalty now appears to be especially important. Reports suggest several staff members have remained supportive during the uncertainty, offering reassurance and listening as the Duchess speaks about her concerns. During evenings at the Doghouse, these conversations have reportedly continued late into the night. The presence of trusted staff and friends has helped create a sense of stability at a moment when the future feels less certain. Yet beyond the personal dimension, the situation also carries wider significance within the royal landscape. Residences connected to members of the royal family often hold symbolic meaning beyond their physical walls. They reflect hierarchy, status, and a royal's place within the broader structure of the monarchy. Royal Lodge has long been associated with Prince Andrew's position as the second son of Queen Elizabeth II. For decades, the Duke of York played a visible role within royal public life. His residence within Windsor Great Park reflected that standing within the extended royal household. But the past several years have brought profound changes to that role. Public scrutiny surrounding the Duke has dramatically reduced his official presence within the institution. Royal duties have been withdrawn, and his position inside the working structure of the monarchy has been reshaped. Against that backdrop, the future of Royal Lodge has drawn increasing attention. The residence is part of the Crown Estate framework, and its occupancy has been connected to Prince Andrew's personal lease arrangement. Any change to that arrangement, therefore, carries institutional implications. For observers of royal affairs, shifts in residence often signal broader adjustments within the royal system. When a member of the royal family moves from a long-held home, it rarely happens without deeper context. It can reflect evolving priorities, financial considerations, or wider, efforts to reshape how royal properties are used. That is why the situation at Royal Lodge has become a subject of quiet but significant interest. For Sarah Ferguson, however, the immediate concern appears far more personal than institutional. Friends describe a woman confronting the possibility of leaving a place that has defined her daily life for years. Despite her long experience in the public eye, the uncertainty surrounding the move has reportedly created genuine anxiety. Sources say she has been asking those around her what she should do next, seeking advice from people she trusts. These conversations, taking place away from the public spotlight, offer a rare glimpse into the private reality behind royal headlines. Within the peaceful landscape of Windsor Great Park, the Duchess is said to be grappling with questions about stability, identity, and the future. Meanwhile, Prince Andrew's discussions with her reportedly reflect the same sense of seriousness. For both of them, Royal Lodge has been more than an address. It has been the center of a shared life that continued long after their marriage ended. The property has remained their anchor through public scrutiny, changing royal roles, and the many personal events that have unfolded over the past 2 decades. Leaving that environment inevitably represents the closing of a significant chapter. There are also practical challenges involved in relocating from a residence of this scale. A property with 30 rooms requires a substantial household structure. Staff responsibilities, personal belongings, and daily routines are all built around the unique demands of such a large home. Moving away from Royal Lodge therefore involves recognizing an entire way of life. For individuals who have lived in the same environment for over 20 years, the emotional and logistical adjustments can be considerable. As the situation continues to develop, attention will naturally turn to where Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson may live next. But for now, the focus remains firmly on the present moment, a period marked by uncertainty and reflection. Inside the grounds of Windsor Great Park, the future of Royal Lodge appears increasingly unclear. And for the Duchess of York, the possibility of departure has brought visible strain. Trusted friends and loyal staff remain close, offering reassurance during evenings at the Doghouse as she considers what the next stage of life may hold. Yet one reality stands out. After more than 2 decades, one of the most familiar royal residences connected to the Duke and Duchess of York may soon no longer be their home. Moments like this highlight how closely royal residences are tied to identity and continuity within the monarchy. When a long-established household prepares to move on, it signals the closing of an era, both personal and institutional. And as events continue to unfold around Royal Lodge, the next chapter for Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson is beginning to take shape. For continuing coverage of royal developments and clear explanations of the stories shaping the monarchy, remember to subscribe.